So we set up a meeting for me to go meet Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy, who was his assistant or the associate producer or director, I'm not sure. But anyway, I met with them out at the studio, and they were very swell people, very nice, down-to-earth people, both of them. Not snooty as I expected, but just regular folks. And they told me what they wanted and why they needed certain colors and certain graphics, and it all made sense, what they said. And they had their art department make up the art boards, which are kind of large, maybe 24 or 30 inches by 18 inches, with a graphic of a bicycle showing the color scheme and sticker scheme. And so we had in our warehouse in Torrance, California, Kuwahara bare frames and forks, and we had all of the components that are needed to assemble a bicycle. So we could really assemble the bicycles there with the Kuwahara frames that we had in stock that were made by the Kuwahara Japan factory. So I went to a automobile paint, like a body shop, and I asked him if he would close his shop down for a couple of days and just work on this project because it was time sensitive. And I needed these frames painted with these color schemes, and I showed him the artboards. And so he did that, and he charged us for it. And I went to a silkscreen company that made stickers, vinyl stickers for bicycles. And I asked him if he would make these stickers for us in 2 days. And he laughed. And he said, "You'll have to get in line." And I said, "Well, I really don't have time because they're putting pressure on me for delivery." So he agreed to do it. So we got the frames and forks painted, and we got the stickers made. We brought them back, and probably Robert was probably one of the people that helped apply the stickers to these frames and forks and assemble the bicycles. I can't remember if it was him or which of our employees did it. So we then assembled the 25 bikes. I think we made 2 trips, but we took one big batch, and you have pictures of that day that we delivered that batch of bikes to the studio, and Robert is in those pictures many times doing the adjustments for the actors to get the seats at the right height and the right angle and the handlebars correct. The studio supplied us with I think there were 5 artboards. I still have copies of them here, 5 different color schemes. If you look at the color pictures of the boys when they're sitting on their bikes at the park, you can see the different color schemes. The bike was a Kuwahara bike with components that we chose. But when I say the bike, the frame and fork were manufactured by Kuwahara. The component parts that we chose to put on that bike, we chose from our inventory in Torrance, California. The rims, the spokes, the hubs, the tires, the handlebar, the stem, the headset, the pedals, the crank, the sprocket, the chain, all of those are called components. And those were chosen from our inventory, and we applied them to the Kuwahara frame and fork, and the color scheme of the frame and fork were completely different from what we had ever made under the Kuwahara brand. The decals were the same. The graphics of the sticker that said Kuwahara, or the head badge that showed the rising sun and the Kuwahara name, those were the same that we had used on our Kuwahara bikes from Japan. But the color schemes of the frame and fork were unique to the studio. And I should mention to you that the reason we chose the rising sun as part of our logo was because it was very definitely Japanese, and we were not trying to hide the fact that Kuwahara was a Japanese product. We were trying to emphasize it. The Kuwahara factory had no input at all, except I told them that what was going on and that I thought it was going to be a big deal.